So hey everybody, it's Karyn Bryant for MMA H.E.A.T. I'm talking with Ryan Bader, who of course is taking on Rashad Evans at UFC 192. And Ryan, I mean, I guess it's kind of the obvious question, but did you think for a while that you'd be getting the shot at DC instead?
Yeah, I kind of did for a little bit. I was supposed to fight him already in June. We both tried to get the Anthony Johnson fight. He got it, and then and won the championship. But then I thought I was going to get him afterwards.
Yeah.
So it's been a while, and it's been a couple fights pulled and that whole deal. And for me, not having a fight, I get kind of restless and lost a little bit. And so when they told it came out that Gustafsson got the title shot, I was disappointed. Mainly disappointed because I didn't have a fight yet.
Yeah.
And then when I finally got that Rashad fight, I felt better. If I wasn't fighting Cormier, that's the person I would want to fight. Former champion, top 5,
right,
still relevant, and I can put him as that ending of that 4 or 5 win streak, make it 5 in a row with a guy like Rashad Evans, former champion, and hopefully that'll earn me that shot.
Well, it makes a lot of sense, but certainly, when we throw back to, I was at that press conference when you and DC had that exchange. Did a lot of people ask you if that was real or fake?
Yeah, a lot of people did ask me, and I was there. I was there with my manager. I was seeing what was going on with the next the title picture. Really, he happened to see me or something and started going off on me. And we had some words in that previous week, and he was trying to say I was starting stuff, but he's the one that came out and said, that I didn't deserve even put my name in to fight Anthony Johnson because I haven't fought anybody in the 205-pound division. Which at that time, I fired back. Go, who have you fought? Because he hadn't fought anybody that was ranked. Maybe Dan Henderson at the time, and that was it. And I was fighting the last 3 guys were top 10 guys. So just fired back with that. And then he kept talking about me when he was fighting Anthony Johnson. Then even at the press conference, he makes it seem like I kind of came up there and ruined his part when he started that whole thing.
Well, I do work with DC, so I know his personality. I know he likes to talk. And to be honest with you, Ryan, sometimes I feel bad because if we're sitting there on set at UFC tonight, I know he's got this great platform, and you might be sitting at your house yelling at the TV, but you know what I mean. He's got that platform, so I do feel for you sometimes.
Thank you. That's the thing too. He has a show and everything. I have social media.
Right.
So that's the way I can kind of fire back. And I one night in particular, I think Rashad and DC were both on there.
Yeah.
And they're kind of running their mouth about me and all that. And they both commented on Instagram video, mainly Rashad. And Cormier just egging him on, but Rashad saying, it was a running video. He's like, this will not work. I'm still gonna beat you, whatever. And then he goes and plays the victim like when I fired back at him after 2 of them.
Yeah.
That I'm tweeting them and all that kind of stuff. So, it's all petty stuff. At the end of the day, obviously we're going to get into that octagon and fight.
Yeah.
And I hope these guys, keep on underestimating me. They keep calling me the easiest fight in the division, all that kind of stuff. Same stuff, regurgitated over and over again. I'm just going to keep my head down, keep surprising people, keep surprising my opponents and the fans. And so, for me, that's my outlook. I got DC's later. I got Rashad in front of me right now. People keep, asking me about the whole DC situation. I got to get through Rashad before we even talk about it. So, best case scenario, I go out there, beat Rashad. He beats Gustafsson, and we can settle it in a title fight.
Well, I know again on the call today, I think they kind of ended as that, DC said something about it being Rashad's birthday and getting a gift of Bader. I mean, obviously it's just something that DC might say, but why do you think that is? Because like you said, you brought up who he's fought, and you've beaten Phil Davis, OSP, who everybody talks about as a rising star, Fei Zhao, there are definitely names in there that people know and recognize. But why do you think it is that they feel that you're fair game to pick on and say that you're the easiest?
Maybe them watching my fights or whatnot, and who knows? Just thinking they can run through me.
Yeah.
A lot of people have thought that, and I keep surprising people. And that's what I like to do. I love to be underestimated. I hope Rashad is underestimating me. And, when I get a chance to fight Cormier, I hope it's the same deal. And I'm going to keep surprising people, And I haven't really shown my full potential either in a fight. And I feel like this long break, from Phil Davis to right now, I've been training this whole time. I've been I've been through a fight camp, when I was fighting Cormier, and then, I thought I was going to fight him again for a championship.
Yeah.
So I was training hard for him there too. And then I went right into the Rashad training camp. And so this whole time I've been getting better and better and better, and I haven't fought since January. And so I look to surprise a lot of people just coming out with a new skill set and new mentality. You know, I'm right there. You know, I feel Rashad and I are at different points in our career. I'm hungry. I have 4 wins in a row. You know, I want this. I want to make it 5 wins in a row and earn the respect of the UFC, the fans, and everybody say, you know, how does he not get a title shot? And I feel like Rashad's been there, done that. He's won the championship, you know, and he's fought for the title a couple times. I haven't tasted that, and I want that right now. So my mindset is great going into this fight, and I'm just worried about Rashad. Training's done. I had a great camp. I'm healthy, great shape. So nothing else we can do now is show up and fight.
Well, very nice. You know, and it's an interesting thing for you to say, though, that you haven't shown your full potential. I mean, you're a guy who's been ranked very highly in the division for quite some time. Is it something that because of the kind of opponents that you've been given, or is it just that now you're saying you're doing something differently in your training and you're reaching the potential that you just hadn't, you know, hit yet?
Yeah, I just think I haven't reached my potential yet.
Yeah.
You know, it takes it's taken the right people around me to kind of bring that out, and myself mentally to open up more and go out there and go after it. And the opponent sometimes, you know, fighting a guy like Phil Davis, who's, you know, one of the hardest guys to hit in the UFC. You know, you look at the stats or whatever. You know, that stuff factors into it, but I think it's my mentality and just working on things that I need to work on and getting better at those aspects in camp and having the right people around me to push me to do that. And so that's what it's all about. And so for me, especially a big fight like this where, you know, last couple wins have been decisions, and me knowing, you know, what they want to see to earn that title shot and to fight for that title, and so they feel comfortable putting you in there, is I need to go out there and win impressively against Rashad. And that's what you know, that's what my mindset is right now. So I'm going to go out there and bring that fight to him and try to do that.
Well, you say something about having the people around you, and I know you and the champ, Chris Weidman, are pretty good friends, right? So has he had an influence on you there that, you know, helping bring out the best in you?
Well, we used to train, you know, together a little bit here and there. We haven't for a while now. You know, influenced me, or having him influence me, just, you know, watching him be successful now and running through these people. So, you know, I have a lot of good friends in the MMA scene that are, you know, top echelon fighters, you know, guys like Cain Velasquez, guys I've wrestled with, Stevie Holloway, you know, Aaron Simpson when he was in there, and a lot of the younger guys coming up too that you're seeing, you know, John Moraga, all from ASU. To watch them, you know, be successful and everything, and people that I know, that just gives me that extra push. You know, guys like Robbie Lawler, you know, coming back, you know, that, you know, we're good friends with, trained back in the day with, and you know, that motivates me too. You know, those kind of people around me as far as the MMA guys, but, you know, the coaching staff too, that have your best interest in, in their mind and want to see you go out there and be successful and will put in the work and practice to get you better. So that's what I mean by kind of like those people around you.
Well, very nice. Well, you brought up a great point. You know, Robbie Lawler is doing so well. He's been around the scene for a while, and so have you. So ideally, if you can pick the way that you want to finish the fight with Rashad, how's it going to be?
You know, it's hard to do that, but I would love to go out there and finish them. Go out there and put a statement out there. And, you know, if I go out there and do that outside of John Jones coming back, I don't see how I can not get that title shot. Right. You know, if he comes back, you know, he's been said that he gets an immediate title shot and whatnot. And so obviously that won't happen. But, you know, if he doesn't, I go out there and finish Rashad or beat him impressively. And then how does that not warrant a title shot? So I'm not looking too far in this picture because you never know. Guy can get hurt, champ can get hurt or whatnot, and, you know, I'm a fighter. I want to fight, so make my money. That's what I love to do. So you never know, but number one, you know, on the list right now is Rashad. Nice.
Well, very nice. Well, you know, I guess, you know, if you get past him, we'll probably have you in the studio, and we'll let the sparks fly with you in DC. That'd be pretty great. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today, Ryan. Have a great fight. We'll see you soon.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Good talking to you.